Alright. I mean, honestly, I kind of didn't really want to do this video. More so because, I don't know, I guess it's a bit vulnerable what I wanted to talk about. I'm a bit embarrassed, I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah, so as of recently, I've, I don't know, I've kind of been hit with this wave of emotion. I can't really easily identify the emotion. They're more so on the negative side of the spectrum. Just, I guess if I had to categorize them, it's somewhere in between anger and almost like a sadness. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm depressed, right? But it is a feeling that it kind of warms my blood to the point where I'm ready to explode. Or it's cooling me off so much that I don't want to do anything. Which is why, I say it's kind of in between the two. I feel as if I'm moving backwards with all the hard work that I've been putting in, right? For the self-improvement and development and stuff like that. All the mental work that I've been putting in. It's really not a great feeling. Especially when getting to the point where I'm at now, I've had to claw very deeply, to pull myself up. And I feel as if I'm just stumbling down the ladder again, easier than it was to climb to where I was. Which is, I think that's where the sadness comes from. The anger is kind of unidentifiable. I can't really tell you where it's coming from. I know it's just a feeling that's there, and I feel a little more agitated as of recent. Small things are borderline pushing me over the edge, and larger things are really pushing me over the edge. Not so much so that it's, I'm past the point of no return. I think I still have, or not think, I know that I still have my control in the sense that my expression of emotion isn't one to negatively affect someone else, which back then it used to be. So, I will hold a bit of pride in that I've retained some of my hard work in a time like this. I guess one of the main factors contributing to the anger, recently my car was just hit by some drunk driver, right? And he just ran off. Now that I'm past the incident, it's easy to just look back and say, just a minor setback, I'll get over it, work a little harder, do a little better, da-da-da. But in the moment, I was genuinely so mad that it was choking me up. It really was. I'm on the phone with my aunt talking to her about it. She's a cop, by the way, so I'm getting some advice from her. She's telling me to do the whole police report stuff, and then just file with my insurance like normal and tell them that that police station has the report. But as I'm like texting her, I I mean, one, you shouldn't really text and drive anyways, but I had to pull over on the side of the highway because just texting her and trying not to let my emotion show so much, it was genuinely choking me up to the point where I had like this solid mass. Like I felt like I had a solid mass bundled up like right here in my throat, and it wasn't fun at all, you know. And I remember this happened like maybe 3 days ago. I remember getting home that night. I was on the way back from getting food after the gym and sitting on my couch, like pulling my food out of the box, and it's fucking freezing cold because I got delayed by 2 hours having to deal with all this, you know. And it genuinely, it wasn't a fun thing to deal with. And that night, many little things piled on that were just ready to, you know, push me over, so to say. You know, after the whole sitting down to eat, I had to reheat my food, which is never really fun because I feel like it doesn't taste the same. I remember before settling down, like taking a shower and stuff like that, I started to bang out a couple of dishes, and I mean, you might laugh at this, but I was genuinely fucking furious with how I went to go wash a spoon and the fucking spoon threw water all over my shirt, you know? And it's maybe like 1:30 in the morning or something, and I'm ready to scream at the top of my lungs. Like, if I didn't have upstairs neighbors who I respect and stuff like that, I would have been causing a fucking ruckus. And, you know, I don't know, a lot of things are hitting harder than they should be, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because, you know, me personally, I'm looking at it as a sign of weakness, which, you know, in hindsight, looking at it now, it's really not that big of a deal. Everybody has weakness, everybody has weak moments. You get up and you get through them, or whatever. But I just, you know, I remember vividly that night getting home and stuff and being so over the top that like my face is hot as if I have a fever, and it's hard to breathe or even form a fucking word. Like I could even like baby talk my cat, dude, and that's how fucking pissed off I was. It's horrendous, you know. I haven't really been like that in a long time. But just something like that, the irresponsibility of someone else just really pushed me over the edge. And it was all because I have this underlying harbor of, you know, anger in my system that I genuinely can't figure out where it's coming from. You know, a little more vulnerable, I've maybe like the past 2 weeks, I haven't really been able to like recognize myself, and not so much so that like I'm damaging others and being damaging towards myself. It's just I'm genuinely lost in what I see in the mirror, and it's scary because, you know, I've always had like issues with seeing myself and stuff like that. Nobody's perfect, and I've really dug into myself, you know, saying that I'm not perfect, you know, kind of like it was more so like an act of humility, but now so it's genuinely like being lost. Like I can't recognize who I'm looking at in the mirror. You know, when I get out of work 5-6 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at myself before I hop in the shower, and it's just I can't prove anything positive about who I'm looking at. And this feeling has genuinely caused me to feel like a stranger in my own home, to the point where like I haven't even been sleeping in my own bedroom. I've been sleeping on my fucking couch for the past 2 weeks, and as pathetic as it may seem, that's genuinely how rough of, I guess, kind of like a half a month it's been. And like I said, I can't fucking identify it, and it's scary, it's saddening, it's also, I mean, I guess it makes me angry too, you know, because I've worked hard to become who I am. I've worked hard to achieve the things that I have. And for those standards to have fallen from grace so easily within myself, it genuinely brings a lot of these negative emotions, and it genuinely scares me. Obviously, I don't forget the process of, rebuilding myself, or placing down my own stair steps, or putting up my own ladder, So, currently I'm in that process of kind of thugging it out and getting back to being comfortable with myself again. I'm in the right step, I guess. I slept in my bed for the first time in 2.5 weeks, fucking yesterday morning when I got home from work. I think part of the problem in my bedroom was that there's no AC in there, and it's the middle of fucking July, so it's also hot as fuck. So I get uncomfortable really, and when I can't fall asleep and I'm tossing and turning, that's when I start to get in my own head a lot. So I think the ability to not fall asleep as easily has caused me to pry myself into such a deeper hole, to the point where I started to feel like a stranger within my own body. Recently I wrote this little piece of literature about hatred. This is around when the feeling started. And the finishing line of the piece that I wrote was about how I hate the skin that I have on my body. Right? It might sound kind of negative, but then I also followed up with, it's the only suit that I have, so I'll proceed to wear it proudly. Almost kind of showing the, I guess, the duality of my mindset, because I can hate on myself as much as I allow it, but there'll always be that part of me, that newer part of me, that won't allow it, and will kind of tell me to not be a little easier on myself, but to be a bit more forgiving with, be a bit more forgiving with my process. Don't be too hard on myself. Yeah, I mean, I've been a bit into literature. I've been trying to write my own poems and stuff. I don't think I really have the formatting done too well, but I'm still giving it a shot. It's a way to express myself without, it might sound a bit morbid, but it's a way to express myself instead of letting it bottle up until I blow my fucking face off. Be that as it may be, it's genuinely helped the past 5 months since when I started. We're in the 7th month, right? I started around February, a little bit before my birthday, so initially they started as like perceivable emotions. So in the moment, whenever I felt a perceivable emotion and I can clearly identify it, I would put the emotion into words that helped me describe how I was feeling them best. So just a little thing here. We have sadness, happiness, anxiety, anger, a bunch of other things. I have some others that I didn't put into that folder, but essentially you get the idea. Yeah, I guess it is a bit embarrassing sitting here and kind of fucking ripping my own chest open. I don't really know if I'll fucking post this video, but if I do, kudos to future Jake after editing. On a bit of a side note, other than the anger and the sadness, I've also felt like immense level of guilt in a couple different factors. Almost one of them being, I feel like my one I think my mental problems sometimes, well, not problems because I don't want to say I'm fucking clinically insane, but the issues that I would have mentally when they come up, my initial reaction is to isolate, which is a fucking horrible habit of mine. I know it all too well. I'm all too familiar with it. I try my best to not do it, but at times it makes it the easiest for me to get over it. So like I feel as if I failed my family members in some ways, because when I do go through rough patches, they won't really hear from me. You know, I'll kind of avoid text messages or even avoid reaching out. Like I probably won't text my aunts for maybe fucking 2 weeks at a time, depending on how shitty I'm feeling. And then, you know, when I do initially reach back out, I kind of act as if nothing happens, and they don't really mention it. I don't know if they've really noticed, but I do feel a bit guilty about that. I've done the same thing to my little sister. If anybody really knows me, she means a great deal to me, but unfortunately she's been a victim of that as well, the isolation. I'm trying the best I can to kind of rekindle and show her that, you know, I'm still her older brother and I care about her, and that I'm a person that she can rely on. I'm probably going to post a video before this, and in it I mentioned that I've had wonderful guidance from my aunts who adopted me, and most of my hard work in this life past the age of 9 has just been so that the guidance I received from my aunts I can give to her, so that way she can become the best person that she desires, you know, because as much hard work as I put in, I wouldn't be where I am today without my role model. So, you know, I want to be that role model for her. I want to be that person she can come to. I mean, because she didn't deserve it, neither does my aunts, or my cousins, or my brothers, anybody. My close friends, none of them. They don't deserve it. And I can see the wrong that I'm doing. I don't know, I've never really said that out loud. Like, I have deep conversations with friends, close friends, and borderline brothers, but I don't think I've ever, you know, spilt the beans that much. So I guess it's not necessarily a weight off of my shoulder, because, you know, I'm still gonna live with the decision that I've made, but it's a bit relieving to talk about it and get it off of my chest. You know, I am a dog at this shit. As much hardship comes my way, mentally or physically, I really do. I make it out, you know. I get through it. I quote unquote thug it out. I mean, just the other day I was getting out of work in the morning. You know, the sun's just rising. It's maybe fucking 5:15, 5:30 in the morning. And I'm sitting at this red light, which was unusually long. I must have played like 3 different songs. I wasn't really paying too much attention, but I was genuinely staring off, and I was lost. I almost missed the green light. It was funny, you know? The fucking yellow light came on, and I was like, oh shit, I should probably get moving. It might have been because I was tired or whatever. I don't think that was it. But yeah, I guess that's really it. Quick little vent session. Whenever I gain the courage to put this out, for me it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm at work, but whenever I do put it out, and whenever you're watching it, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your night, whatever the fuck you're doing. Who knows? But the biggest advice I can give is just learn to enjoy things, and it'll make the misery less heavy. But yeah, my camera's gonna die and it's damn near a half hour of recording, so thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later.